another option defined, and there we are configuring the class name as card footer. In the card footer, I just give a heading and so product dot price. Like now, this is generating a card for every product and displaying by using this map method. We have to do that. Now you see here, it is going to generate that and display. And same, the key issues will come. Key issue will come. That means you need a unique key for reference of every card. That means every card requires a key attribute to define. And that will be product name as a unique reference key. That will be fine. And it will get the presentation in this way. You have learned, generally whatever you have learned in presentations of HTML and JavaScript and jQuery. In JavaScript, jQuery also we can do that, but we need to use a lot of logics. We need to handle a lot of logics. Then the problem is lengthy code will be there. So we need to write a lot of iteration conditions and all. And through that, we need to manage. So that is generally one problem we will face regularly for presenting such content. Now it is very easy. Now it is very easy. So what we can do is we can simply get the values and configure the values by using simple iterations. Obviously, you know how we can add new items, how we can remove the items. You know that. Dynamically, we can do that. If you are dealing with an array, we are configuring an array. How to add items into array? How do we remove items into array? You know that. Suppose I want to add one more item here, one more item here. Just in the logic. So in the logic. So into the logic. So we can add the items and configure the item. So what I will do here, I will simply write here this dot state, so we have products is a collection. Into the products collection, I am using the option push, so we can add a new item. You have to write this. So inside the constructor I am adding push, we can add a new item into that. You can use push, you can use splice. So you can remove an item, you can add an item. So now push where you want to add the item, what item you want to add, an object. So name property is expecting some boot. So and price property is expecting some price. And stock or say photo is expecting from images like shoe1.jpg. We are adding a new item into this. Later we will add dynamically into that. That means it will add a new item. You can add into specific location. You can add into any location. You can configure and add into a specific location or add into any location. We can use generally the properties of array manipulations. Later we will see how we can manage that on button clicks and do that. But when you are doing iterations and configuring iterations, the key is important. You need to understand the key. It must be uniquely defined for every element, uniquely defined. So this is an example. This is an example for card. So we are configuring the card and defining the card with the iterations. This is an example, and that is configured like this. So let's paste that example here. This is the card. So reading the elements and presenting the elements is always a challenging one here. And but it is, once you know it, it is very simple to handle then in JavaScript or jQuery, because already in JavaScript jQuery we experienced that we need a lot of manipulations of creating element, appending elements, but here through simple iterations we can configure. Actually, the map, why we use the map? Because map is an array function. Map is an array function which can iterate over all the properties and return all the properties. Map is an array function which can perform iteration over all the properties and access all the properties. That is the reason we have to use the concept of working with map. So we have to deal with working with map, right? That is an example of how do we use this. Now, in this, we need to now understand how we can deal with the concept of event binding in React. Now we learned how to store the data and how we can manage the data for application. Now we need to see how we can manage event binding in React. Event binding is nothing but how do we handle the events. Remember, all JavaScript events, JavaScript browser events are valid in React. Only the point is React uses camel case for event. So that means all events are same. It uses camel case, like it have like on click. It has like on change, like on blur. So like on focus. All these things are used. Focus are used, etc. On submit, everything are used in a camel case. Now, how we can configure the events and how we can use the events in the React application, we need to see that we will see in our next session, right? And we will have session tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have session, and tomorrow we will have the session at 8 a.m. Is it okay to everyone? So that tomorrow 8 a.m. we can spend some more time. At least 2 hours, 3 hours we can spend, and we can finish a lot of topics in React in one attempt, so that it is time saving for us. Okay. So tomorrow we will have session. So tomorrow at 8 a.m. same link you log in, and same link, right? Same link you log in. So we will discuss all other topics and work with them, right? Tomorrow we will spend little more time dealing with all this, right? All this I will share into the classroom notes and everything. I will share that. Tomorrow we'll continue then. Okay. Right.